Elizabeth II, the UK's longest-serving monarch, passed away at Balmoral in Scotland at the age of 96 after reigning for 70 long years. She was lately not in good health and her doctors had warned of her rapidly deteriorating health. After the demise of Queen Elizabeth II, there are several procedures that British royal family members, politicians and residents of the UK will follow. The death of the Queen in Scotland has triggered contingency plans known as Operation Unicorn. Part of the long-held so-called London Bridge arrangements for the aftermath of Elizabeth's death, Unicorn sets in motion additional ceremonial events in Edinburgh ahead of the logistics of moving the Queen's coffin back to London. In this video, we will tell you about the various events that will follow as part of Operation Unicorn in the immediate aftermath of her death. Do watch the video till the end to know all about it. Hours after the death of the longest ever serving UK sovereign, who was on the throne since 1952, something referred as a call cascade will take place in which the Prime Minister, Cabinet Secretary and a number of other civil servants will be officially informed. The British Prime Minister would be informed by the Queen's Private Secretary, who will also inform the Privy Council Office. The Prime Minister will be informed about her death in coded terms by civil servants. The first time the common public would be officially apprised of her death would be when a notice will be placed on the gates of London's Buckingham Palace. Internally, the death of her day will be referred as D-Day, with each following day leading up to the funeral referred to as D+1, D+2, etc. After her death, flags outside Whitehall will be lowered to half-mast. The British Prime Minister will reportedly hold an audience with the new King Charles and will deliver a broadcast to the nation. D-Day +1. A day after the Queen's death, several formalities will take place, including the Parliament holding an audience with the new King, Queen Elizabeth's son, Prince Charles. As her eldest son, Prince Charles is the legitimate and rightful heir to the throne. The codename for King Charles's accession to the throne is Operation Springtide. Besides, on the first day following her death, parliamentary business will also be suspended for 10 days. D-Day +2. On the second day following her death, her coffin will be returned to Buckingham Palace. The Prime Minister and other ministers will attend a reception to welcome the coffin. Another contingency plan, codenamed Operation Study, will be triggered if the journey is to be made by air, most likely flying the coffin on an aircraft of the Queen's flight to RAF Brize Norton or RAF Northolt. D-Day +3 and D-Day +4. On the third day, the new King Charles will begin his tour of the UK, starting in Scotland, arriving in Northern Ireland on day 4. D-Day +5. On this day, there will be procession of the coffin from Buckingham Palace to the Palace of Westminster, and there will be a service at Westminster when the coffin arrives. D-Day +6 to D-Day +9. During these days, the Queen's body will be kept at the Palace of Westminster. On day 6, a rehearsal for the state funeral will take place, and the day after that, Prince Charles will travel to Wales to receive another motion of condolence at the Welsh Parliament and attend a service at Llandaff Cathedral in Cardiff. D-Day +10. The Queen's funeral will take place at Westminster Abbey with processions in London and Windsor on the 10th day. There will be a committal service in St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle, and the Queen will be buried in the castle's King George VI Memorial Chapel. The UK will also be given a national day of mourning after these events. These were all the important events that are likely to take place after the death of the longest serving British monarch. We hope you like these information. Thank you for watching.